Hi there. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Tina Carini with SpongeandStamp.com. I have a technique to show you guys. Some of you may have already seen it, some of you may not, or you might have forgotten about it. I've never done this technique. I have seen it. It's been around for a few years, but it is the faux metal technique, and we are going to be doing that today. So I'm going to be using the Quiet Meadow stamp set. We're going to use this beautiful flower image. I'm also bringing in the greenery embossing folders. They're really designed for the mini, but you can use them through the regular sized machine as well. And there's two different designs. We're going to be using this one today. So let's see, we've got some silver embossing, and I'm hoping that I have enough embossing powder. We've got some Versamark, and let me move this aside. We've got our heat tool gun that we're going to be using as well. And I have Coastal Cabana cardstock, and the camera does not do the color justice. This is more of a greeny blue, and the same with Bermuda Bay. It's more of a greeny blue too. It looks really blue on here, but it's not. It is a greeny blue. Then we have a piece of basic white cardstock. I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap paper, and what we're going to do is we're going to take our Versamark. I am going to also get everything ready because you kind of have to work a little fast doing this technique. I've got my image, and I did dab it in some Versamark so that the powders don't stick to your stamp. And I'm going to ink this up with Versamark. I can stop dropping it everywhere. And then we're going to put some silver embossing powder on this. And if you stay with me to the end, I have two samples that I want to show you using copper and gold. And they're really beautiful. I love the way this technique looks. So now I'm just going to take my heat tool, kind of like heating it up a little bit. I'm going to start from the bottom just so that I don't blow off some of the embossing powder. And then we're just going to lay this down. And I'm going to keep this up. This takes a little bit of time. If I had enough embossing powder, I probably would have done each step so that you didn't have to sit here and watch the heating process. But once this gets going, it does go pretty quickly. So I'm just moving it around, trying to heat it all up. And you can see it as it turns. This is one of my favorite techniques for heat embossing. I love to do it. And I think it just adds a little something to your card or any project that you're doing. So we're going to do that. There we go. So now you can either tap, tap, tap with your Versamark, or, oh, I didn't quite let that dry, did I? And go back in, or you can just work really fast, and before your the embossed part cools down, you can just hurry up and put more powder on there, and that works too. So we're just going to do like that. Then we're going to heat this up again, and it will heat up pretty fast. So wait till you see this though. This process takes a little time because you want to get at least 3 layers of embossing powder on here so that it gives you a really nice impression. And you want to make sure that all your powder is melted as well. Okay, so I got this. I'm going to just stick this in here, I think, so I can show you. So you just want to stick that all in there, like so, and then you come out, and then you've got that. So we're going to shake that off, and then we're just going to heat that up again. And it didn't really cover all that great, so I'd much rather just use my Versamark. Of course, if I had it on a flat surface and not in the dish, that would probably make a difference too, don't you think? Oh. All right, so I'm going to put one more layer on here of embossing powder. And I wonder if I can do this like this and see how that works. I might have let it cool too much. I did. So that's okay because I can heat this up. You got to work really fast if you're going to do it like that. Heat that up. I'm going to put one more little layer, I think. One more. Let's see if I can get this on here. You really want that to be all nice and thick. All right, so this is, I'm going to go for it now. So we got to work really fast and make sure all of it is melted really good. It's hot. Okay, because you've got to work fast, like I said. So I'm just going to, you want to be careful not to burn your powder too, because you can burn. All right, so here we go. We're just going to take this, push that down, hold it down, put a little pressure on that, and then just let that cool. Hopefully this worked. So we're going to do that. And then I am just going to pull that off. And then I didn't put enough pressure on the top. But anyway, so that is it. Is that not beautiful? That is so pretty to me. Okay, so let's make a card with this. We are going to, let's see. I am going to bring in this piece here. I'm going to lay this. What we can do is you can trim this up to make it look nice and neat, or you can take a die cut of a shape, a large label or something, and you can get some of this powder off of here. It is a little messy too, but I think it's worth the mess, don't you? This is so pretty. All right, so we can trim this up. We can use a die cut it out, or you can tear it. So I think that I am just going to tear this around just to kind of give it a little bit of interest. There's no wrong way to do this. And if I come into that flower, I'm okay because it kind of, I don't want so much white showing. So I'm going to just like that. Okay, a little bit right here. So I am okay with that. So now we're just going to adhere that down to this piece right about here, just like so. And then we are going to, I've already run this through the embossing folder. And originally I was going to do the whole thing in silver, and then I decided not to last minute. So I should have embossed the whole thing, but I didn't. Just the one corner here. And I'm okay with that because it's going to go just like that. And I think I'm going to stick another dimensional there and there and there, because I really want this to lay pretty good, pretty flat. And then we're going to pull these backings off just like so. And then we're just going to place that right about there. So there we go. So isn't that pretty already? I think that's so beautiful. And then I've got a half a sheet of cardstock that is in Coastal Cabana. The layer is Bermuda Bay. And we're just going to fold that in half. So just like so. And then that is going to layer right on there, just like that. And then we're going to just jazz it up just a little bit. We're going to add a sentiment that we can do. We can stamp it in Versamark as well. And I think I'm just going to use the Thinking of You because I have it out, and that will be pretty easy to do. Thinking of You. So we're going to use our Versamark again. I'm also going to use my embossing buddy. We don't sell these anymore, but you can always use dryer sheets, and that works well too. Okay, and all that does is just take off some static and maybe the oils or something from your fingers. so that it doesn't, so the embossing powder doesn't stick to it. So let me go ahead, bring in our silver again, and let's go ahead and so pretty. Okay. And then if you get a few stubborn pieces that don't want to come off, you can just take a brush. I'm just using a little paintbrush here and just kind of swiping it off, just like that. Okay, so I think that I'm good. Let's turn on our heat tool and go ahead and heat this up. So there we go, and the magic. I love it. Okay, now I'm going to trim this, and I'm just going to use my scissors. If I can find my longer scissors. I cannot, so we're not going to waste time looking for them. I am just going to stick this in my trimmer here, and I need to clean my trimmer because it's really all goobered up. So, and then we're just going to do just like this. And I think I'm going to slide that down just a little bit more, just like so, and give that a trim. And then there we go. So we've got that. And then I'm going to take, here's my long-handled scissors. Wouldn't you know, they were right in front of me. I'm just going to go ahead and trim this bottom up just a little bit. I'm going to clip that off. I'm going to clip this end. I can cut straight, guys. Okay, and then we are just going to take that. Let's go ahead and adhere this down. So we're going to take some glue. Ooh, bumped my camera. That would not have been good if I would have knocked that off. Wouldn't be the first time, though. Okay, so we are going to take this and layer that right on here, just like so. I hope you're staying with me because I have two samples to show you. And I did want to show you something else that I thought was really, really cool, too. It's almost like a wax stamp look. It's really cool. So I'm going to trim this off, too, right like so. And then I'm going to stick in a dimensional on the back of this. Hopefully it will fit. There, I think that's good, just like so. And I'm going to put a little glue on this side, like that. And then we're just going to put the thinking of you, just like so. Okay. Just hold that down just for a second so that it glues. And there we go. And you can dress this up. You can put some ribbon or more embellishments, some twine. But let me hold that up so you can see that is so, so pretty. So this is the faux metal technique. Let me show you two more cards that I did. One I did in bronze. So this is the bronze one. Isn't that beautiful? This I used the flower from In the Tropics, I believe is the name of the stamp set. It's been around for a while, and you can find it in the annual catalog along with Quiet Meadow. And this is some celebration paper right here. I put some vellum on here, some pale papaya ribbon, a little bit of baker's twine, and then I copper embossed Our Friendship is Timeless. So I thought that card was really pretty. So let me clear this out of the way here. So we've got that one, the one we did today, and then one more, and that's this one. This one I did in gold and old olive, but I just noticed looking in the camera that I put this on upside down, or this layer upside down. I just noticed my words were upside down, but I gold embossed the wording from the stamp set right here, just on there. I gold embossed this and then hurried up and stamped down on that, and then I gold embossed the thinking of you, and then I put a brushed metallic dot on there. So I think that that is really pretty. Now let me show you. I have not made a card out of it yet, but I am going to. I did this. Oh, it's showing green in there. Let me move this stuff out of the way. So I did this don't know why it's showing greeny, in white embossing powder. But isn't that really, I'm trying to get it up so you can see, but isn't that really, really pretty? So you can use this like a, like you put on the back of your envelopes, or you can use it as an embellishment on your cards. And I just did that the same way. I just layered the white embossing powder and then inked up my stamp in Versamark so that the melted embossing powder does not stick to your stamps. And I thought that turned out really pretty. I really can't wait to use that. I think it's going to be really, really pretty. All right. Thanks for joining me today. I hope that I have inspired you, and I hope that you give this a try. Thanks for joining me. Doodly doo.